I've done like 1,000 takes trying to find out how I want to start this video, and in all honesty, I don't know how to start this off at all, but hey, I guess we'll just roll with this one. 500. Absolutely ridiculous. The only words I can really say are thank you. I mean, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do, I don't know if I'm supposed to do anything big, I don't know what to do right now. So the first thing that came to mind was a Q&A. These aren't really my type of videos, but I guess I'll try. And I'm honestly surprised that I even got questions considering how many people are with me on Twitter. So yeah, 500 sub Q&A. Let's do it. Our very first question is from Mango the Dangayo. I hope I'm saying this right. But his question is favorite anime of 2020 so far. It can be an older show that I just happened to see this year, or it can be one from 2020. I guess I'll just go with my favorite anime of 2020, right? Even though there are a lot of awesome shows like Rikekoi, Gleipnir, Great Pretender, Brand New Animal, and Inspector, all of which being series I enjoyed a lot from this year. But I definitely have to give my #1 spot to Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken. Literally everything from the story to the art, the awesome girls that we follow in the story, the amazing opening and beautiful ending, the overall concept of the series is exactly what I've always wanted in an anime. Comedic the whole way through, has a fun vibe to it, an inspiring and relatable story, and no unnecessary drama or trauma. It's just a bundle of fun and makes you enjoy every second because of its fun nature. Up next, we got the boy Triton, and he asked favorite YouTuber. I think a person's favorite YouTuber says a lot about a content creator in terms of influence. So I'm curious, as someone who recently started watching your videos. First of all, I appreciate the support. I'm glad that you're watching my videos. And second off, man, I wanted to keep this a secret for later on, but you know, I don't mind bringing it out now. But my favorite YouTuber is DashyXP. Now you guys probably don't notice about me, but I've been making YouTube videos since the 6th grade, right? And at the time, let me tell you, Dashy was a huge inspiration. I would literally watch everything from the skits to the gameplays to the animated series, the ones he'd make with Nightmare Cinemas and draw some tunes, as well as hanging with Dashy, which would be like his vlogs. He would also make music, and I even watched like the bloopers to his skits. Like I would watch literally everything that he had made. So 6th grade me was so inspired that I went as far as to make a YouTube channel myself, and I would make YouTube videos and whatnot. And of course that was a long time ago, so you won't really see the inspiration now, but he definitely had a huge impact on just my creative mind. And in terms of my favorite YouTubers to watch now, a few of them are Kneecaps, Introspective, Didus, Raffy Puff, as well as FaZe Jeff. I mean, I just really love watching these guys. They're very down-to-earth creators that are just genuinely cool and fun to watch. On to the next question. We have the boy, Seth the Sin, the one and only Deadly Sin of Geek. What an introduction, man. that's the boy though, that's the boy. But on to the question, he asked, what would you say is the most underrated anime / manga in your opinion? Did any other particular creator inspire you as a YouTuber? And what was your first anime and manga? Oh, and congrats on 500, my friend. I appreciate it, man. Now, Seth, I know we always go on about Medaka Box being ridiculously underrated, right? And while it really is, and I wish more people would watch it because it's an amazing anime and you should watch it. If you haven't watched it already, go watch it right now. I personally really have a lot of trouble finding people who have seen Welcome to the NHK. That, to me, that is the most underrated series out there that I know of, at least, right? So yeah, most definitely Welcome to the NHK deserves so much more love than it gets. His second question was what creator inspired me to do YouTube? As stated before, Dashy had quite the influence for me in the earlier years, but I'd say myself for this channel, you know, like the previous channels were something like test runs, if I can be honest, especially before landing on this channel, where I'm just fully myself and constructing all that I can from my own way of thinking. So yeah, I'd probably say that I inspired myself the most, even though me being inspired by myself comes from being inspired by other people over time. My brain. Next question. Seth's last question is first anime and manga. My very first anime was High School of the Dead, and my first ever manga was Inuyasha. Love those series, man. I have mad love for those series. On to the next, we have Geek Air, and his question is, what is the best advice you got doing YouTube videos? You know, over the years, people have always told me that consistency will make or break you. And while that is indeed true, from what I've seen, sometimes consistency is just not enough. Of course, you're hearing this from Otaku Dreams, who graduated from YouTube University with a PhD in inconsistency. But while consistency has always been amazing advice, most definitely, something I tell myself all the time is to produce videos that I would want to watch, right? Because the videos that are super fun and engaging to watch the whole way through are the kinds of videos that people like myself enjoy the most. So it not only allows me to go into every single video with genuine passion, but it gives everything a more comfortable vibe. And I think once you create that vibe right there and keep it going, I personally think that's how the most fun creators are born, so that's just what I'm trying to do. Up next we have Midnight Riella. You know I'm bad with names, man. But our boy's question is reason or reasons why you choose Asuka to represent yourself online. How I'm going to shorten this answer is the real question, because there's just way too much to say, like way too much. But honestly, Asuka is just an amazing character all around, through and through. A character that I love so much and that I enjoy overall. She literally just doesn't care, does what she wants. But the thing is that at the same time, she's also dependent on the people that she often tries to reject on the outside, right? You know, I would try to sit here and break her character down, but like this would have to be a separate video because there's a lot. And she's definitely a dream girl in the sense of her dominance compared to somebody like me, you know, somebody who's quite similar to Shinji and is just super awkward. Literally, I would say she's the other part of me that I need, and I really feel a unique connection with her character. Literally, when I first started this channel, I was like, all right, let me think of somebody that I like a lot, a character that I want to represent me, and just the first person that came to my mind was the one and only Asuka. And of course, I'm just a huge Evangelion fan, as well as a fan of Gainax and Trigger anime. So combining all of these aspects, it led me to picking Asuka over any other character I could think of. Up next, we have the Girl Opalescent, and her question is, if you're watching this season's airing shows, what's one that surprised or disappointed you? And what soon to air anime are you most looking forward to? Also, what are your personal / YouTubing goals for 2021? Now, if I could be completely honest, I nearly skipped all of fall 2020, not because I had no interest, but I just failed to keep up with every airing show. So I usually pick like 2 or 3 shows to keep up with, but I didn't even do that. I will say Jujutsu Kaisen is killing me with its beautiful production by Studio Mappa, who I've of course been a fan of since discovering Punchline. And though I haven't been on top of every episode, Mappa definitely blew me away with the animation and directing in the anime compared to my knowledge of the manga. Though I kind of expected them to go all out at the same time, so yeah. And when it comes to soon to air anime I'm looking forward to the most, although at the time of recording it's already started airing, I've been really excited to see where the final season of Attack on Titan will go, if I can be honest. Considering how long we've all been with the series and are getting ready to say goodbye to the masterpiece that it is, I'm just so happy about all of that. I'm also super hyped for Quintessential Quintuplets Season 2, The Promised Neverland Season 2, Yuru Camp Season 2, as well as the final Eva Rebuild movie. 2021 is going to be a nice year for anime now that I think about it. And of course, for my personal and YouTube goals for 2021, I honestly just want to work on my social skills and stop being so bad and awkward around people. Hopefully I'll be able to do more collabs and make lots of friends, and I plan to have the same old fun I've always had. I'd say that's where my head is for 2021. Anime Plus Gamer asks, what got me into anime and YouTube? Back in the 6th grade, my best friend, who I'd known since elementary, was really into anime and manga and would always be talking about it, telling me all kinds of things about Attack on Titan, Naruto, and One Piece, literally so much, and over time I couldn't help but be fascinated by it all, so I simply got into the medium after all that. Though I was already familiar with series like Naruto, Dragon Ball, Bleach, Inuyasha, you know, mainstream stuff that I had known of before, he played a major role in taking me to that next step. I'll always remember starting off with High School of the Dead and gaining an interest in the world of Japanese animation, and from that point forward I gradually became a weeb, even though early on I hadn't been watching as much as I may have wanted to. But around 8th or 9th grade is when I started going super weeb mode and getting into all kinds of shows. As for what got me into YouTube, it was just a mix of a lot of my favorite YouTubers I would always watch, and as I've stated before, I started my very first YouTube channel in the 6th grade because I saw how much these guys were having fun and making me laugh, so I wanted to do the same for others and spread fun vibes and positivity. My goal was to put a smile on everyone's face and make people happy in the best possible way I could, and entertaining them through YouTube videos was the best way I could do it. This also allowed me to share videos with my friends and whatnot to make them feel better, and till this day, speaking as a college freshman, my dream is still to make the world smile and have fun talking about what I and many others love. Oh man, this video is getting crazy long, but for our last and final question, this one's from HeavenlyDweeb, and he asks, which anime character do you think represents you the most, your spirit character? Then compare that character to your favorite character of all time. Oh man, these questions are just amazing. These are some really good questions. But I actually brought up something like this in my very first video on this channel, 10 anime facts about me, which is now blocked worldwide, thanks YouTube. But my anime spirit character is Gab from Gabriel Dropout. Let me say, she has and will always be the female version of me. Our way of living in reactions to life is literally copy and paste. I would say my dreams and optimism perfectly line up with a character like Asakusa from Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken. Basically just blend Asakusa and Gab and you'll get me. But when it comes to simply existing, I'd say Gab. She's way too relatable overall in the sense of trying to keep your otaku side from completely consuming the holy side. And now to compare her to my favorite anime character of all time, my boy Ippo. Man, this is gonna be tough. I never thought the day that I'd be comparing Gab to Ippo would ever come, but Gab is probably the complete opposite of Ippo in the sense that she's butt lazy and plays MMORPGs all day, while Ippo is always trying to find a way to push himself past his limits and fight to understand what it truly means to be strong. And the fact that I find a part of myself in Ippo is what makes me hesitate to say that Gab is the complete opposite of him. But you know, my brain is tapping out just thinking about all this. I really hope I was able to answer your question. I tried my best. But that about wraps up the 500 sub Q&A. I hope I was able to answer your questions, and I hope you enjoyed the video. So if you did enjoy it, you can leave a like if you want to. You can also subscribe if you want to. Feel free to leave a comment if you have anything on your mind, because I love talking to you guys. Let me tell you, literally the best part of doing all this. And feel free to keep up with me on social media. I am most active on Twitter, but links to everything will be in the description below. It has been Otaku Dreams, and that is all she wrote.